a childhood friend of mine. I mean, there's been probably a dozen people from my childhood that have died from addiction or overdose. But there's one that really stands out. There was myself, this kid Louie, and this kid Victor were all we were tight. Uh, we ran together all the time. I mean, we were like a trio. And I was the first to get sober out of that little crew. And the two of them kind of dabbled in and out of trying to get sober. We all knew that we needed to be sober, all of us, in order to like survive. But I was the only one that really did it. And my friend Louie, who was such a good person in his heart, but he was a very tough guy. He was a super tough guy. He would call me up every few months and be like, dude, I'm just ready to get sober. And I knew that it was going to be hard for me to sponsor him because we were too close as friends. But this last time, he said, hey, man, I've tried this with so many other people. I really want to see, let's just see if it works. You could try to sponsor me. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so I did exactly with Louie what my first sponsor did with me. And I said, look, man, you're going to have to start working out, get into a program in the gym, start eating well, go to AA, and we'll spend a lot of time together. We'll grab dinner. We'll hang out a bunch. And we did. And Louie started to get sober. And he put 90 days together. I actually had him speak at a meeting that I was in charge of on his 90-day anniversary. And that night, it was a Wednesday night, we were supposed to go get sushi. And he spoke at the meeting, and everybody was like floored with his speech, with what he said, because it was so real, it was so authentic. And we were supposed to get sushi that night right after the meeting, and he was like, dude, I'm just feeling kind of tired. Like, I'm just going to go home. And his apartment was not far from the meeting in Brooklyn. And I was like, you sure? So I was going to take him out to like a dope sushi spot. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm just beat. I'm going to go home. And he did. And I texted him that night. I was like, yo, man, congrats on 90. He was like, thanks so much, dude. And then I went to bed. And I called him in the morning. He didn't answer his phone, which was kind of rare because he really took to this like early morning thing. He was like, he listened to me. He was like up in the morning in the gym, getting after it. Called him in the morning, no answer. Texted him, no answer. A couple hours later, still didn't get a response from him. Texted him again, nothing. By the afternoon, I was like, okay, something's up for sure. His phone was going to voicemail. And I was like, damn, something's up. And I called my boy John, who's also really good friends with Louie. And I was like, yo, have you heard from Louie today? And he was like, nah, I tried to call him, but like I haven't heard from him. John was also sober at the time. Anyway, like the following morning, we tried him again, all the voicemail, no text response. And John went over to his apartment and had the doorman knocking on the door, nobody answered the door. Had the doorman open the door because we were like, hey, like, something could have happened really bad here. But doorman opens the door, and sure enough, Louie was dead, face down in his bed, purple, ice cold. He had overdosed. And it sent chills down my spine, man. It sends chills down my spine even talking about it, He was sober. He was sober with me, celebrated his 90. And for whatever reason, the demon got to him that night. And somebody was there. We still don't know who it was. Somebody was with him. Stole his watch, stole a couple of things in the apartment. But, the drugs want you dead, man. They want you dead. And sure enough, it was fentanyl, that killed him.
And if you're struggling with addiction, I can help. Pop over to @SoberFitDude on IG, shoot me a DM. I've kicked off a coaching platform that is specifically for men struggling with substance abuse.